Welcome to the Finding the Magic podcast, where books come alive. I'm Tricia Copeland, a fiction author and host of this show. If you love books, finding great reads, and hearing about the story behind the story directly from the authors, this is the place for you. Whether you like fantasy, science fiction, dystopian, or romance titles, I think you'll find something to love in my playlist. Listen in to discover something magical about a book or two today.
Hi, Breakfield and Rocks.
Howdy.
I guess I should say Charlie or Charles and Rocks. This is, wow. This is Breakfield.
I know,
and
it's so.
I was so good beforehand, right?
So we are Breakfield and Burkey. I'm Rocks, he's Charles.
Awesome. Welcome, welcome. Breakfield and Burkey, you have a cozy mystery crime series, correct?
We do. We actually participate with 12 other authors. It's a very interesting situation that we have.
I thought that may be Kate's because I saw this is number 27.
So it's funny. We got into this group called the Underground Authors 3 years ago. And we decided that each of us would write a book and release it in a month, every month,
Wow.
for a fictional city that we created. So we all write independently.
Okay.
So each of the authors actually releases a book every month, and we're kind of the August kids.
Yeah, we're the August guys, and the idea being that we share characters, we share some of the scenes. Okay, the police chief is one of our favorites, and he gets used in almost all the stories. But there are everybody's got their own favorites, and we borrow back and forth. The toughest part that we had to learn in the first year, was not to assume that everybody was going to make it through each book, because we picked out somebody that got whacked before. Well, we got to go change this one and find somebody else to be able to put into our book. So we've gotten down to a pretty good rhythm now. And as you noticed, with 27 books, there's a lot of things going on in this particular city. There's people just dying to get into the cemetery. So
I was going to say you happen to have enough people to kill off to keep having more characters, right?
Or we bring them in and then kill them too. You know?
Okay. So how do you organize this? Do you have a huge Excel file of all your characters, or a huge document of all your characters and what's going to happen to who, so that each author can record, so the next author knows right?
Exactly. How did you know, Tricia?
I don't know.
We're yanking your chain. We fly by the seat of the pants, and so does everybody else. And so it's like, okay, who'd you kill? Oh no, not that one. That was a good character, what about this person? Well, they're so slimy. I wanted to keep them around. Well, okay, I need a slimy character for our book. Now, can I borrow him?
Well, I love series that really keep those characters with you, and that you can...
So we created this town.
Go ahead.
We created this town in Texas. So it's in the Texas Hill Country. And so do you live in a small town?
No, not really. I grew up in a small town in Georgia, so very much like Texas.
Exactly. So, when you have a small town, everybody knows everybody's business, and everybody has their own point of view. So characters in this town are reflective of who's talking to them or about them. So, it's kind of interesting because we all have our own perspective.
Right. And so is this written in third person or first person in each book?
Both.
You've seen both, yeah.
Okay. So depending on the book you pick up, it may be a first person point of view, it may be a third person. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Interesting.
One important distinction is that each one of the books is standalone. So if you take them out, once done in that particular book. So reading it from the beginning because each one of the characters do evolve in within each one of the different authors' books, as well as the overall story thread. So and so makes it to this book, and then they move away, or they leave, or basically we're saying words over them in the cemetery. So it's fun. If you only get if you find one of your favorite authors, and amongst the 12 of us, if like I only want to read them, you're going to enjoy their books, I promise.
Interesting. So each one of you might have a little bit different writing style then.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. And that twist on the genre. So they're all classified as cozy. However, we have paranormal infiltrated into some of them. We have thriller infiltrated into some of them. So they're not all just cozy. They may have a little add-on element to them, which makes them unique to that author.
Yeah,
right.
A little spicy along with that author's writing style is probably the way I'd categorize it.
That's really neat. And were all of these authors previously, or this is their first debut novels?
No, they're all award-winning authors. That's what's so interesting about it. We're very lucky to actually. This is not our genre. Our main genre is thrillers.
Okay.
So we got invited to play in this group with the underground authors. Primarily, we wanted to learn how a cozy is really constructed, how you put it together, and so we've had a lot of fun with that.
And we get good advice from the other authors, like I might suggest this, or they'll give us a little bit of a pep talk. Here's how you might want to tackle it. Because we've got this I hit a brick wall with this storyline. What would you recommend? They go, I might suggest yada yada yada, and that's what So we get a lot of that play back and forth between the authors, which helps to stitch the entire series together, so that it feels more like, okay, this is another episode of the Magnolia Bluff Crime Chronicles, and who's gonna buy the farm this time?
Well, I love series that you get to continue and keep learning about all the characters. So that sounds like that really appeals to me. I tend to run through books like that, so it's a lot of fun. But you act as one author, is that correct? Like both of you together? How does that work?
It's pretty tricky, actually. And we don't even live in the same house. We don't even have the same households or families or anything else. So, that spreadsheet that you were talking about earlier, that's our life.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll sketch out a 10 or 15 chapters on a new book that we're thinking about, and then we bat it back and forth. We use our patent pending writing technique of literary ping pong, and we get the ideas kind of back and forth, and it's the story smithing and the character smithing that we get that polish, so that our editor will come in and say, "Who wrote this?" And it's like, "Yeah, that's right." But you can't tell.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, so one of you doesn't write one chapter and the next chapter you kind of.
No, it's a collaborative effort.
But we do to a degree, but then we bring it back to each other for smoothing.
Okay.
So then when it goes to the first line editor, it really is supposed to sound at least like a single voice.
Okay, fun. So tell me about this book in particular.
So the Ransom Enigma,
right? Yes.
And the cover is right above Charles's head, and so it's kind of interesting. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah. So we brought these characters back for the third season. The same characters. She's part of a rich and famous supermodel out of Brazil, and if you want to go get away from stuff, you can't. Your face is recognized by millions. He's a cybersecurity character that has to stay under the radar. So they have trouble trying to find a nice place to go that's not. They want to go relax. They want to be, regular people, and that's why they go to Magnolia Bluff. But for some reason, they keep bumping into, these open mysteries that are like, okay, well, where did this come from? And in this one, they finally got their dream house built, and they're celebrating it, inviting everybody in town to be able to come and have fun, drink, their favorite adult beverage, chow down on, Texas barbecue, and dare I say it, to do some boot scooting to the DJ, and it's all wonderful. The evening winds down until they find a blackmail letter threatening to expose Joanne Wagner as the famous supermodel, and they're demanding money. And so now it's like, her husband is like, this can't be. I will kill this person. You shouldn't say certain things in front of the police chief.
Oops. So does he get framed for the murder?
Well, he certainly is a target for it, yes. And unfortunately, he also ends up in a coma, so he can't defend himself.
Yeah.
So his poor bride has to act as his
detective, sleuthing detective. Figuring out this is not what she does for a day job. I mean, good
Right,
grief.
yeah. He's a cybersecurity person.
Yeah. So it's we turn the roles upside down, and it makes for a very fun exercise for a mystery.
That does sound fun. So did you use your thriller background in crafting these cozy mysteries?
We actually do. We bring elements of security, elements of all of the different cybercrime that goes on these days, kind of into it, but not laced where you have to get a tech manual to understand what's going on, but more things that we're very commonly seeing, like social media that goes amok.
Yeah, splashy headlines that easy for the average person to digest, knowing that there's some criminal stuff going on. And they use cryptocurrency to be able to finance things, and that's about the extent of the in this particular series that we dive into.
Okay, so not hardcore science fiction, just a little bit of rip from the headlines.
Yeah, it helps keep the adrenaline flowing, because it's like, okay, what are they doing next? Okay, well, we got to pay the ransom. How do you do that? You have $100,000 laying around the house to be able to pay this? No kidding. We use the today's technology.
And so we both have technology backgrounds.
Okay, that's my next question. Like, how much research do you have to do, or was this your background?
Yeah, so this is our background. So, it's never science fiction when it's actually technology fact. So we actually break real technology into the stories.
Okay. Neat. Yeah, I was interviewing another author last week that her husband is an ex-CIA agent. And because I asked, well, why did you start writing in this genre? Because her other books were like self-help Christian women's books. And she was like, well, my husband was an ex-CIA agent. I had him right there. And I was like, okay, well, that works. So
so she has a reference library right there on two legs. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Right. And then she said it actually improved her marriage too, because he talked to her more about his job than he ever had before. So I mean, obviously stuff he could tell her, but
Yeah.
Things
that's pretty fun. I like that.
Little drones that are the size of flies, which I thought was only in superhero movies. So
yeah, no, they're definitely real.
Yep.
Fun. And how did you meet each other then?
Truth be told, I actually hired him.
Yeah,
he applied for a job where I was working. I was part of the committee that decided who would get the job, and so we hired him. And I actually interviewed him and convinced my boss that we should go ahead and put him on. So we ended up in the tech field in the same company for a short time, and then in different companies, kind of hopscotching. Technology jobs, you want to be there, 3 to 5 years, and then you want to move.
Yeah, I have this theory that in the tech world, there's only 8 people really who are in this in the industry. We just have multiple business cards that we change a lot. So
fun. And when did you become authors?
Well, that's kind of an interesting question, because we were in the consulting role at a couple of high-tech companies doing professional services. The output of what you do when you go and do analysis is a white paper. Here's all the stuff we saw that was wrong. This is what you need to go fix. and either I've got stuff to fix it with it, or you're going to buy it from somebody else. So it's a natural segue to what we were doing with Witch's White Papers for Auerbach. And then they said, "Can you guys do some books?" And we said, "Well, sure, okay." And we tried that, and then next thing I know, Roxanne's at the door saying, "I got a new idea." And the four most terrifying words in her vocabulary is, "I have an idea." And so she goes, "Let's do fiction, but let's bake in the technical facts and make some thriller stuff that we know pretty well." And it was a great idea. And she is that's why she's the chief operating officer for our fledgling corporation.
Yeah, I mean, they say write what you know, so I guess you went with that.
Exactly. The other thing that got him involved in it, though, was I told him we could kill people and never go to jail.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. I don't want to know about the rest of your real background. We'll just leave that for another show. Well, fine. Because I was thinking this reminds me a little bit of like, they're not called, what was the thing before? Oh, the Kindle Worlds, where different authors wrote in the same series. I think they did away with the official Kindle Worlds, but this feels very much like that, I guess. So fun. So what's planned next for the series? Is this going to go on and on and on for as long as you can write?
That's probably that's the story we're selling. I'll just say it that way. You know, we've already sketched out book number 4 for the next season of Magnolia Bluff, and we're working on the Enigma Heirs, the 3rd book in the series. Trying to get that one put out for the first quarter next year.
Yeah, do you want to talk a little bit about Enigma?
Sure. So the Enigma series is basically we capped it at 12 books. We took a different technical threat, ransomware, cryptocurrency, altering DNA strands to be able to live forever, all kinds of neat stuff that was kind of fun to write and explore and research. We capped it at 12 with the AI wars in the first 12 book series, and then spun off the Enigma Heirs, which is the 3 book series that we have out. We have 2 books already on the runway, and as they say in the Air Force, the 3rd one's in the hangar right now.
And it's a trilogy. It's designed as a trilogy.
Okay, and those are all thrillers, it sounds, but very tech-based thrillers.
They are tech-based thrillers. The Enigma Heirs trilogy is really geared more toward a YA audience.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. And is the spin-off series or the origin series from that, I should say, is that more adult?
Yeah, it is more adult, exactly.
Okay.
And it does have very specific technology targets, as Charles was saying. So identity theft, cryptocurrency, AI wars, all of that, which are, and in the headlines every day.
Yeah, fun. And so what is the name of the origin series, just so everybody can have it?
Yeah.
Enigma series.
Okay, so it was the Enigma series, and then the spin-off YA is also the Enigma series, or no?
It's Enigma Heirs, because it's the next
Heirs.
generation.
Oh, because it's next generation, it's the younger generation YA. Got it.
Yeah, that's kind of where we took it. Like, okay, the 3rd generation, they finished their shepherding of the business, and they turn it over to the 4th generation that have to learn. I mean, they've been taught all their lives. This is how you fight the cyber bad guys. And it's the fun part about it is that no matter what you teach the young or mentor the next generation, you're always worried, did they get it? Are they going to be able to successful? Will they win? Because whatever problem I teach you, they won't be the same. So how well have we taught you to think? That's what the Enigma Heirs is probably more geared towards in the YA area. So it's a somewhat gratifying to be able to piece that together, bring it to the Audible world as well.
Oh, fun.
All of our books are in Audible format. We got a genius narrator, Derek Scholes, that he's a master at being able to capture the right kind of voice, the accent, the diction, the location that they're from, age, male, female. He's just that good.
That's amazing. Yeah, audiobooks. I love audiobooks. I spend almost all my times on audiobooks, so that's a lot of fun. And is this futuristic, or do you feel like it's more? Is it contemporary?
Total contemporary.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all stuff that's we have seen, and we fought against it. So you know, a lot of it is we've always go back and do the research. You know, to remember correctly. Did she remember correctly? Because invariably there'll be somebody said this isn't true, and I just love those arguments because I know I'm right.
So you looked it up. You double checked.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm guessing no AI in these books, right?
Oh no, there's absolute. Oh, you mean writing by AI?
Right.
No.
Yeah.
No. But we do talk about the AI wars.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's a big, I guess, contention point right now in almost every field. So it's really interesting.
It's very scary in many ways. Do you have that in your writing too, or?
I don't write AI. I don't use AI, except that I realize that word prediction is AI. But anyway, that's as far as I get in AI, clicking on if it's the right word on the next on my phone. So yeah, no. My background is biotech, so technology, but biotechnology, so not computer technology.
Oh, there you go. Have fun.
So like you, I jumped from scientific writing to more creative writing.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a quantum leap, and it's, I don't know about you, but we found it far more satisfying than writing technical books that have to be rewritten as soon as you're finished with them.
That does happen. So this is a question I love to ask my authors, and both of you may have different responses, so I'll let both of you answer the question. But if there's one, and I don't know if there's one single answer to this, but you can tell me, there's something that you want readers to take away from, you could be one book or your series, what is that?
I think the one thing I want people to take away from the series is to think about how to protect themselves when they're online.
Okay.
And I do believe in that. I think people are kind of easy targets for hackers, crackers, and other bad people.
I'm always interested in the seduction of the technology. Here, here's the AI engine that will write a beautiful back cover for your book, or an Amazon description so you don't have to fret about how to be able to do that. And the seduction is so perfect that it's like, what happens when you don't have that? What happens when you no longer have that skill? And so, it's very much a warning, like saying, don't give up your birthright because you can't get it back.
Right. Well, and it never sounds the same as if a human wrote it. But yeah, I've never tried it, but it's sort of like, I don't think everybody tells me it doesn't sound the same. And it was interesting when the new Kindle audio option came out, Kindle will make your audiobook for you. And my husband was like, you should do that. It's free. I'm like, no. I have my beautiful narrators and they do an amazing job and we're going to keep them.
So we actually decided to do that. We put a collection of short stories together. Mm-hmm. And it's called Trusted Friends and Lovers.
Yeah.
And it is a collection of stories about relationships and how you keep them going. And we thought we would try the Kindle audio automatic just to see how it was so hard.
Painful. Very painful, because words that you and I understand completely and how to pronounce them. Okay, well, there's some things I can't pronounce, like Worcestershire sauce. I mean, but yeah, we had to go through multiple times, edit, and then when you get to a word it's completely mangled, you have to phonetically engineer it to be able to pronounce it so that it sounds like a regular human being said it.
Ooh,
So
interesting.
it was, and we always tested the technology. That's kind of what I do. I'm the propeller head. I want to see, where does it fall short? Where does it break? Where is it? Where are the agachas? Because that's what I want to know. Where's the edge, the delineation between humans and something that's programmed to be able to work off of a large language?
Well, I'm glad you tested it for me, so now I don't have to test it.
No, but if you want to listen to trusted friends and lovers for us and let us know your feedback, we would love to see a review on it.
Okay, I will look at that because I love all genres, romance included. So yeah, fun.
Perfect.
Well, thank you so much for being here. Your most recent book is The Ransom Enigma. And,
Yep.
and it's, now I'm going to mess up the series name. Go ahead and tell me. Murphy's Crossing?
It is part of the Magnolia Bluff Crime Chronicles.
Thank you. Magnolia Bluff Crime Chronicles. Thank you so much, Rox and Charles, for being here. Tell us where we can find you and your books.
You can find us at enigmaseries.com. You can find us at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, several other places, but enigmaseries.com will allow you to have sample chapters, sample book trailers, sample audio snippets, and free downloads.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And we will definitely follow up next year when you publish your next book.
Thank you very much, Tricia.
Thank you,
Thank
Trish.
you.
And
Good night.
Bye.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Finding the Magic podcast. I'm your host, author and podcaster Tricia Copeland, and I love getting behind the scenes. If you like the podcast, make sure to subscribe and stop in each week to discover new authors and books. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep finding the magic.